Wheels is back with another week of rankings, and I will also be making some game predictions in this video, so be sure to stick around to the end, because some of my picks may surprise you. At 25 is New Mexico State, a 7-game winning streak, highlighted by a road win over a bowl-eligible SEC team makes them worthy of a spot in the top 25. The next two teams are also new entries to my rankings, as NC State comes in at 24, and Kansas State is at 23. James Madison drops down to 22 after a tough loss to App State in overtime, while Liberty makes the biggest jump of the week, up 4 spots to 21. Oklahoma State enters the top 20, with Iowa 1 spot ahead of them at 19. Tulane moves up to number 18, and Notre Dame is now ranked at 17. Another close loss for Oregon State drops them to 16, allowing LSU to enter the top 15. Arizona is at 14, followed by Oklahoma at 13, Penn State at 12, Ole Miss at 11, and Missouri at 10. Here's another look at the teams I have ranked 10 through 25, as well as where they were ranked last week. Now a look at the playoff hopefuls. Louisville kept their outside chances alive with a road win against Miami, but with the teams ahead of them continuing to win, their path forward has gotten narrower. Alabama stays at 8. Unless some of the other teams start to lose, they'll have to wait for the SEC championship game against Georgia for a real chance to move up. Texas survived another close game on the road, and they'll stay at number 7. Oregon continues to dominate their opponents, keeping them ranked as the highest one-loss team. Florida State stays at 5, and unfortunately will have a tougher road ahead with the injury to their quarterback. I'm not going to show the clip, but it wasn't good, so please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Now the top 4. I've decided to drop Michigan a spot to number 4. Honestly, their resume isn't that strong, and with Washington picking up another ranked win, I think it's time for them to make the jump to 3. They've really played a gauntlet of a schedule, having to take down Arizona, Oregon, USC, Utah, and Oregon State, all teams that are either ranked right now or had been ranked at the time of their matchup. This team is the definition of going 1-0 every week, and if they keep it up, they'll be in the playoff. Ohio State stays at number 2 heading into their matchup with Michigan, which will be one of the games I'll be making a prediction for very shortly, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Georgia stays at number 1 with another dominating win. Here's the teams ranked 1 through 9 with their ranking from a week ago. Okay, time for some predictions. First up is Texas against Texas Tech on Friday night. The Longhorns can clinch their spot in the Big 12 championship with a win, and I think they'll do just that. A home win over an in-state rival to close out the regular season is a perfect boost for a team trying to make the playoff. I have Texas over Texas Tech 35-16. The next game is another in-state rivalry, Oregon State vs. Oregon. Like Texas, the Ducks can clinch a spot in the conference championship game with a win. It won't be easy though. The Beavers, despite 3 losses, play all their competition tough and will have extra motivation heading into rivalry week knowing that they can knock Oregon out of the playoff race. I think Oregon will get off to a fast start, but Oregon State will find a way to hang around into the second half. I don't think it'll be enough to win the game though. Give me Oregon with the win, 42-31. Unfortunately, you won't see any highlights for this game on the channel, or the next game I'm about to preview either. Just know this isn't my decision. That's all I'll say about this for right now. The biggest game both of the week and arguably of the regular season is Ohio State against Michigan. Unless Iowa were to pull off a major upset in the Big Ten championship game, the winner of this one is essentially guaranteed a spot in the playoff. If you asked me at the beginning of the season who I thought would win this game, I probably would have picked Michigan, being that they're at home and have won the past 2 matchups. However, Ohio State is playing better football right now, and the Wolverines are dealing with some outside distractions as well. I know they're trying to use it as extra motivation, but at some point all that catches up to you. It'll be a close game, but I think Ohio State gets it done on the road to secure their spot in the playoff 28-24. Now the Iron Bowl. There's been a lot of incredible games throughout the history of this rivalry, but I don't think we'll be getting a classic this weekend. Alabama looks unstoppable right now, while Auburn is coming off a home loss to newly ranked New Mexico State. Alabama will get the win 45-24. Next up is Washington against Washington State. Both teams have something to play for, as Washington has its eyes set on the college football playoff, while Washington State is trying to earn bowl eligibility. Both teams have played a lot of close games, and considering that it's a rivalry, I think we'll get another close one here. With that said, I see this as another week where Washington goes 1-0. Give me the Huskies via touchdown, 35-28. This is another game that I unfortunately can't make highlights for, as they share a common denominator with the other 2 that I talked about. We'll wrap up these predictions with a couple of SEC vs. ACC games, starting with Florida State against Florida. Just like Washington versus Washington State, you got one team, the Seminoles, looking to make the playoff, while the other, Florida, is playing for bowl eligibility. The Gators are coming off a tough road loss to Missouri in a game that they probably should have won. This has been an up and down season for them, as they started 5-2 but have lost 4 straight. With their backs against the wall and a home matchup in a rivalry week against a team starting their backup quarterback, I think we'll be getting an upset in Gainesville. Florida will eliminate the ACC from the college football playoff with a 38-28 win over the Seminoles. The last game I'll talk about is Georgia against Georgia Tech. The only good news that I have for Georgia Tech is that they clinched bowl eligibility last week against Syracuse. I don't think this will be much of a game, with Georgia finishing off a perfect regular season against their in-state rivals 45-14. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the format with rankings and predictions all in the same video. This might be something I stick with going forward. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy another great week of football and have a happy Thanksgiving.